Hello everyone, this is a math remote class from Ramtha International Academy. Hello first grade, how are you doing today? Today we are going to start a new concept in math, which is division by grouping. Let's start it together. Here we have Yara and Ahmed. Their mom brought some cookies for them, so they decided to share them equally. So each one will have the same amount of cookies. Yara suggests, what if we can divide them in groups of two, because they are two kids. So we will separate each two cookies from the whole amount like this. So now each one will have one cookie. Then they separate the second group. So now each one has two cookies. Now each one has three cookies. They divided the whole amount of cookies in groups of two. So now each one has three cookies. What do we mean by separate or dividing? So we divided the total amount of cookies in groups of two. What we just did now, we call it division. What do we mean by division? Division is separating the whole number of objects into equal groups. Separating like we cut off. We cut off the whole number of objects, but in equal group. Remember, equal groups. Like the multiplication and addition and subtraction, also division have its own sign. Let's see what's the sign for division. Division sign, it's look like this. Oh my God, it's a very nice sign. And we read this sign as divided by, divided by. Since now on, when you see this sign, you have to read it as divided by. Okay, oh, look at the rabbits here. Here we have two rabbits. How can we divide these carrots between these two rabbits? So I want to say that we can divide them by group of two, because we have two rabbits. So each time I will separate two carrots because we have two rabbits. So each one will get one carrot each time. So how many carrots do we have here? I do have 8 carrots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 carrots. Let's start to divide them in groups of 2. This is the first group, and this is the second group, and this is the third group, and this is the fourth group. So here we have 4 groups of 2. So each rabbit will get 4 carrots. So what if I ask you to write this dividing as equation? How many carrots do I have in all? We have 8 carrots, and I want to divide them by 2 rabbits. So the equation will be 8 divided by 2 equals 4. What if I ask you, what do we mean by 12 divided by 3? 12 divided by 3 means 12 in groups of 3. So we need to divide 12 in groups of 3. First of all, we have to draw 12 objects. So remember, first of all, we need to draw 12 objects. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Here we have 12 objects, and we need to divide them in groups of 3, because here we have number 3 and we need to divide number 12 in groups of 3. So let's start together. This is the first group of 3. This is the second group of 3. This is the third group of 3 and the fourth group of 3. So how many groups do I have here? I do have 4 groups of 3. So 12 divided by 3 equals 4. Division is really very interesting. So let's practice more in division. Okay, so here we have 10 divided by 5. First of all, we have to draw 10 objects. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can draw whatever you want. You can draw stars, circles, triangles, whatever. Okay, here we have 10 objects and we need to divide them by 5. That means we need to divide 10 objects in a group of 5. So each group will have 5. So first of all, what can we do here? We need to count 5 objects, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and put them in a group. So this is the first group. And then continue counting the objects. The second group, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the second group. So here we have 2 groups of 5. So 10 divided by 5 equals 2. Okay, let's have a look to another example. 6 divided by 3. First of all, as we mentioned before, we have to draw the objects. How many objects do we have in all? We have 6 objects. Let's draw them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This time, I draw the objects in a messy way. So let's find the groups. We need to divide them in groups of what? Of 3, exactly. So first of all, we need to count the first 3. 1, 2, 3. This is the first group. And 1, 2, 3. This is the second group. So 6 divided by 3, 2 groups. 6 divided by 3 equals 2. Look at the groups in the first equation. Both the groups have, each group has 5 objects. They are equal. So we are dividing the 10 objects in 5 in 2 groups, and each group has 5 objects. So both of them are equal. Look at the second equation. 6 divided by 3. Here we have 6 objects and we divided them in a group of 3. And after that we have 2 groups of 3 and they are equals. Okay, let's have a look to this equation. 6 divided by 2. So how many objects do we have? We have 6 objects. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 objects, and we need to divide them in groups of 2. Each group will have 2 objects inside it. So this is the first group, and this is the second 2, and this is the third 2. So 6 divided by 2 equals 3. 3 groups of 2. If you remember in the previous slide, we had 6 divided by 3 equals 2. What is the relation between those numbers? If you look at the numbers carefully, you will find a related multiplication fact. Do you remember the multiplication equation? 2 times 3 equals 6. So what did you notice here? We noticed that the division is the opposite of multiplication. So 2 times 3 equals 6. 6 divided by 3 equals 2. And 6 divided by 2 equals 3. So division is the opposite of multiplication. So in the first equation, if you don't know the answer and you didn't draw anything here, so you can ask yourself, what times 2 equals 6? And the answer for sure will be 3. And here also, you can ask yourself, what times 3, equals 6? Your answer for sure will be 2. Okay, let's move on to another example. 8 divided by 4. So we need to divide 8 objects in groups of 4. First, let's ask ourselves, what times 4 equals 8? Do you remember the multiplication equation? 4 times what equal 8? Let's find the answer by drawing. We need to draw 8 objects. I want to draw 8 sticks. This is the first stick, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 7th, 8th stick. So here we have 8 sticks, and I want to divide them in groups of 4. So each 4 will be in one group. So this is the first group of 4, and this is the second group of 4. So here we have 2 groups of 4. 8 divided by 4 equals 2. And if you remember, 2 times 4 equals 8. So we can do it in both ways, but what I'm asking you to do this time, I want you just to draw and dividing them in groups. Maybe in the second grade you will be more familiar with multiplication equations, and it will be easier for you to do it in multiplication equations. Let's move on to another example. 15 divided by 5. Let's draw 15 objects. Now I want to draw 15 stars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And I want to divide them in groups of 5. Remember, in groups of 5. So each group will have 5 objects inside it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the first group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the second group. This is the second group of 5, and this is the third group of 5. 3 groups of 5. So the answer is 3. 15 divided by 5 equals 3. I want just to remind you that 5 times 3 equals 15. If you remember counting by 5 3 times, 5, 10, 15. So you noticed now that division is the opposite of multiplication. Now, what happens if we divided something by 1? Let's try 4 divided by 1. So we have 4 objects and we need to divide them by groups of 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, and groups of 1. So each group will have one object inside it. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the number is 4. 4 groups of 1. The answer is 4. 4 divided by 1 equals. Any number divided by 1 is the same number we started with. So 5 divided by 1 equals 5. 9 divided by 1 equals 9. 6 divided by 1 equals 6. And so on. What if we divided the number by itself? Like 4 divided by 4. So we have 4 objects and we need to divide them in groups of 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So each group should have 4 inside it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is one group. So one group of 4. 4 divided by 4 equals. Okay. So 4 objects, we divided them in groups of 4. So we have 4 in each group. Divided by itself equals 1. 5 divided by 5 equals 1. 6 divided by 6 equals 1. 8 divided by 8 equals 1. And so on. Thank you for watching the video. We are done with our lesson for today. See you next time. Bye bye. This is